basically everything that they do in real time, it can actually counteract it immediately as soon as they send the disinformation.
Good. That I am in favor of. What I was just thinking that you were saying is like, okay, now it's our turn to do our thing, and like, yeah, let's take that down. Yeah. Because that wouldn't be principled. That wouldn't be principled. You know, that would be just like using the same. Hold on, Brett. That wouldn't be principled. That would just be using the same tactics of the people that we dislike, but using it against them.
Correct. No, this is perfect. This is exactly what we've been asking for. In fact, this is what the Donald Trump administration has been asking for 1,000 times. The FCC has been asking for this for such a long time, but unfortunately, because it's privately owned, nobody can touch it. Now that the CEO has Ellison actually owns it, this is now perfect. Now we can actually fight back against this disinformation by actually giving them the counter arguments immediately as soon as they make them. And people can click to the link and can see the counter argument immediately. Because people, once they get angry, they're not going to listen to anything else you have to say. That's the problem. That's the problem we've been having. When people get angry immediately when they see something, they're not willing to actually listen to anything they have to say. That's why having that link will immediately dispel anything that they have to say immediately. And that's exactly what we've been asking for such a long time. So it took it took an American to actually do this, which is fantastic. And that's why we say TikTok is such a dangerous place, because you can just say whatever the hell you want and nobody can correct you. And nobody gets to see the correction either. You would have to scroll like 1,000 times before you see someone actually making a counteract, and wait, like it takes a long time to even make the contents to begin with. So now we're going to have the content makers know what those
it's like the community nodes of X, which I think has worked quite well.
Yeah. So that's going to be rolled out, and I think that would be perfect. That's exactly what we've been asking for. Finally.
Awesome, dude. I think, like you said, it's not to share propaganda from an Israeli perspective. It's simply to focus on disinformation. I can't think of anything more important at the moment, social media.
Yet they're very proud of the disinformation and the long-term effects of this different disinformation, and they are squatting all over in small groups so that we're not centering on one group of people. And they are also you should see on some of the rooms these beautiful pictures of themselves without their formal wear. So people should be thinking about what's coming, not only the words on this app, but the actual campaign to put forth false information.
Definitely, there can be misinformation about Islam or misinformation about what's happening on the ground in Afghanistan. It's not just about Israel.
I'm sorry. Of course, that's my cause, but yeah, that's true. But I'm just talking to the people who are coming into rooms about Jews, about Arabs, about Islam. That's my focus. I'm not asking for everybody else to be that focused, but it is a concern when democracy in the world is all of a sudden, the information is a fib of all kinds.
Yep, we are on the same side.
Yeah, but that's going to be the nature for a while until we sort of regulate. That's why I'm actually in favor of certain regulations, because you can't live in a society or be trusted in a society where you can't trust the information being put out in any direction.
My concern is Instagram and Facebook are owned by a Jew, and they don't do that. What Phoenix was saying, that's also problematic.
It's because freedom of speech has become a quandary now.
But the title of the room, sorry, go ahead, Sam. Oh, sorry.
We're just going to say that the Torah teaches us that, at some point we make choices that take us outside of the nation, that take us outside of the people.
Yeah, most definitely. And to the title of the room, would America do the same if it was in Israel's position, basically against Hamas? If it was Mexico that did this to inside Texas, do you think America would react, if not more catastrophic, towards Mexico?
Isn't that a rhetorical question, Vicky? Didn't they do the same already during Iraq after September 11th?
Pardon?
Can you hear me clearly?
No.
Sorry, dude. Can you hear me now?
A little bit, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I said, haven't they already done that after September 11th? Didn't they react in a similar way?
Yes, but I'm saying, so the question is, well, it's not the question. Hold on, don't remove them. One second, I'll turn the hand raising. Levy, did you purposely do that?
Of course, he's playing Hava Nagila. He's a faggot.
Okay. My piece. The thing is, though, when somebody goes to war, the objective is for the other person to give up, and then there's a winner and then there's a loser. Does anybody think Hamas will give up?
No, I mean, they say it themselves that they will sacrifice every last child in Gaza to win. They don't care.
I think it'd be cool if they gave up.
It'd be awesome if they gave up.
I know.
But I honestly don't think they will. And I think that's the problem. And then the world's screaming, I was just in a room. And I love these people in this room, but the other room, and the people that are in here. But it's all Jew, the Jews. And I'm like, fuck, man, the last I checked, there wasn't just Jews in Israel. There wasn't just Jews in Israel that want to live. But yes, there's a lot of Jews in Israel that want to live, but there's also a lot of other people that want to live too. There's Christians, there's Druzi, there's Muslims, there's Hindus. People want to live.
What do you think if all of these people that criticize Israel so much, I'm not saying that they should defend Israel at all costs, of course there are things that you can point out of every government, but do you think that these people that are super pro-Palestine, if you give them only two choices, either living under Hamas government or living under Netanyahu Israeli government, what do you think they would choose?
I think they're so far indoctrinated and fed misinformation. They would say not Netanyahu. They think he's an evil troll midget that runs around casting spells on people. And they don't understand, which is fucking mind-boggling.
Yeah, but it's just so stupid because, of course, you wouldn't want to live under a regime.
I mean, if there's an evil wizard, do you really want him against you when he could be on your side? That's just silly.
Sure. Well, Lisa, we have to think about who we're asking, right? If you're asking a Muslim who's fully indoctrinated or propagandized as a Muslim, it is forbidden, it is haram to live under any other government on Muslim land, by especially.
I don't know, man. That sounds pretty racist.
Especially if it's a Jew. But if you're talking to a Westerner who sort of, then their perspective is that it could be that the Jews stole the land, and so why would they want to live there while the Muslims are so peaceful and great? Which I think some Muslims might be great, but not Hamas.
But I think back to Issa's question, what, for the rest of the room, what do you guys think? Even if you want to type it in the chat, Bibi or Hamas, who would you rather be ruled under?
Is this a question? Who's asking this question?
Issa.
No. I'm just saying.
No, because the world's crazy. I understand what she's saying. She's saying
Yeah,
like
no,
hypothetically, the world's
Daniel.
still.
Yeah, just explain to Daniel.
So the
like,
world's so sick right now.
even the people-
Oh, you are okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Even the people who think Israel is the biggest trash evil place in the world, would they rather live under Hamas, or would they rather live under what they consider the most evil, shitty place in the world? Like, I think the answer is clear.
Actually, it will be interesting to listen to those people that think that Israel are demons and the Israeli society is like, where would they prefer?
Yeah, it's like if you ask Diego, like, honestly, and it's like, okay, Diego, if you have the choice to go live under these evil, rubbish people that you talk about all the time, the Israelis, or you have the option to go and live under Hamas, what do you think he will
Freedom
do
fighters.
with his children and with his everything,
Yeah, one is freedom fighters fighting for democracy and human rights, and the other one is a genocidal, starving demons. Like, who would you prefer to?
I've seen numerous YouTube videos of interviews on the street, especially within the LGBTQ, and they've asked that exact question, and the answer is Hamas. I've heard it over and over again on YouTube.
That's fine, but do you even know that they think? Do you even think that they know who Hamas is and what actually is Gaza? Like, this is very easy to say when you are in the West protesting with your purple hair.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, well, of course I would go to Gaza. It's like, yeah, okay. And actually, there should be some sort of like NGO or millionaire, like offering people actually tickets to go and live in Gaza and see what,
That's a great idea. Like if they offer them, some rich Jewish guy offered like 10,000 euros each for them to go and live in Gaza, I think a few of them would take it up. I think that's a great idea.
Are you ready to the visit of Netanyahu is on his way to the White House?
right now.
Yes, and then they will have a press conference, and before that, Trump will speak to the Emir of Qatar. I think they are trying to basically close all the Arab countries to agree. Like he met with Erdogan the other day, he was sitting next to him. And I think once Qatar agrees and Turkey agrees, both of them are holding Hamas leaders and basically to corner Hamas. So they would say yes, Israel would say yes, and then Hamas would have to say yes, or they're kind of left alone.
Guys, you know what I seen? Somebody can fact check me. All these countries that recognize Palestine as a state, I read somewhere this morning that not one Arab country recognized Palestine as a state. Is there?
Oh, really? Let me fact check that.
No, that can't be.
Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
Hold on.
Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
They will not open their gates to Palestinians, that is true. But I think they recognize it.
I'm just asking ChatGPT. Let's see what it says.
I mean, ask for the list of countries that recognize Palestine.
Okay, let me ask that as well. So, can you give me
And all vegetables.
countries that recognize?
So those are isolated by I guess the Middle Eastern bloc or something.
I cannot hear you over the clickety-clackety of Isa.
I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to have a silent keyword.
I love it.
It's isolate.
You failed.
It's isolate over by the Middle Eastern countries or something, or Arab countries. or Muslim countries. I don't know.
Hold on, it's just that it's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm fine that it thinks a little bit for longer, because it's searching the web, so it can be a little bit more reliable.
Maybe he's looking for Palestine.
Like, what do you mean Palestine? Exactly. I love you, Daniel. You're so quick.
Bro, my mic was off. I would laugh my ass off so hard with putting on deodorant, and I almost tripped. Daniel's got the best one-liners.
Yeah, I was watching the speech of Netanyahu at the UN over the weekend, and because I didn't have the chance to listen to it before, and I was amazed that everyone left the room. I'm like, these are just children, these are children incapable of listening, even to understand. You don't need to agree with Netanyahu. You can boo him if you want, but why the fuck would you not be professional and just stay like an adult,
Because they don't want peace. They don't want peace.
It's like babies doing tantrums. It's absurd. It's like, and then you people are the ones saying and condemning war. Well, guess what? Because of these attitudes, is that then you have war because you're incapable of talking to each other.
Did we find an Arab country that recognized Palestine with the list of countries that recently recognized?
Hold on, I'm asking. So I was waiting first for the first one. It says, if by Muslim countries you mean Muslim majority states, about 50 worldwide, virtually all have recognized the state of Palestine. The only clear Muslim majority exception is Kosovo. Kosovo is not Muslim, is it? Which does not recognize Palestine and isn't a UN member. By contrast, Albania, also Muslim majority, does recognize Palestine. No, but I mean Arab states, right?
So, Issa, the thing about the UN, just to go back to that, the UN is a performative body. And international diplomacy in that way is a lot about the performance, right? You don't take the meeting, you you block a visa, you walk out of the room. Like this is all they have. If they want to protest, that's all they have in the diplomacy world. That's all there is.
That's not true.
What else is there?
Listening and talking to the people.
No, but what I'm saying is
but in public
to protest,
on the stage,
I'm saying the only thing that you have, you could sit and listen, right? Or you could walk out. I remember actually there was a similar discussion at APAC conference when Trump was in 2016, when Trump was the candidate. The more liberal parts of APAC who were in attendance had a whole conversation about, do we stay or do we walk out? It was a whole conversation.
Yeah.
I was at that conference and I stayed and listened.
Walking out is refusing diplomacy.
So
exactly my point. Like, you can refuse to listen, and that's fine. It's your choice. But it says a lot about where your mindset is, right? Because that is exactly what Mike said is saying. Like, walking out is refusing diplomacy. It's saying, I cannot talk to you.
I think it's the edge. I think it's the extreme on one end of a diplomatic behavior. It's not diplomacy. It's just the extreme edge of diplomacy.
I get it, Caleb, but the message you're sending even to people that you're representing in that room, which is your country, is like, yeah, it's all right if you don't want to talk and you just want to punish them.
That's what they wanted to. That's what they wanted to communicate. Wait a second. That's what they wanted to communicate, and they were successful at that.
Yeah, but that's childish.
It might be childish, but I'm just saying, Sam, just 1 second. It might be childish. I'm just saying it's well within the realm of like all kinds of diplomatic behavior, and we shouldn't be surprised at it.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Sam. Yeah, Caleb, I understand what you're saying. What I am just trying to convey that this is not, diplomacy in the end, yeah, it's getting up, it's a way of communication. but diplomacy is about being able to discuss things and negotiate things and not agreeing, but being able to talk. They don't need to be your friends, but you need to be able to communicate with them. If you don't achieve diplomacy, then the alternative is war. So they are in those roles, they are diplomatic roles. If you aren't capable of dealing with a difficult conversation in your diplomatic role, maybe you're in the wrong position. Sorry.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying we're agreeing, right, that there are broad behaviors that still count as diplomacy. I'm just saying not talking is a tactic within diplomacy. I would say, I've heard Zed say this before, right? War is just violent diplomacy.
It's a form of diplomacy. I wouldn't necessarily call it violent.
It's a form of communication.
Yeah,
Yes, it is
it's a form of diplomacy. It's a form of communication, but it's not
It's
diplomatic.
basically forcing your opinion on others because they don't agree, basically.
Yeah, the whole point is like, I don't like, okay, so if we Google define diplomacy. Okay, so is the profession, ability, or skill of managing international relations, typically by a country's representative abroad. So it's about managing an international relations. It's the art of dealing with people in a sensitive and tactful way. So that is diplomacy. If you are in a diplomatic position, you're expected to have the skill to speak with people you don't like and to have difficult conversations. That's the reason why you are diplomatic or a diplomat. If you don't have that skill, then you should not be in that position. Otherwise, you're just doing a tantrum.
But unfortunately, the constituencies of those countries wanted those representatives to actually walk out. That's how childish they are.
So Bibi
Yeah,
did
that's
say
my
in
point.
the beginning of his speech that that your leaders say one thing to me in private and then they do another thing in public, right? He said this explicitly in the speech. So it could be true that some of those leaders actually have good relations with Israel, but in order to save face with their constituents, they have to like do another thing. And
That's racist.
The sort of behind the scenes issues that may take place. I don't know 100%. I just know what I heard, and I know what I saw.
I agree with you, Sam. I am sure that there must be some sort of relationship, with Israel under the table, that not people see. But then again, you're not fulfilling your role. Like the message you're sending by taking this attitude is you're sending a message to your country, to the citizens of your country, like, it is okay to just refuse talking, and it is okay to be aggressive with these people. So it's not setting an example, and it's the whole purpose of these type of conferences or gatherings or whatever is precisely diplomacy. They should be adults in the room.
Because there was people that stayed that didn't get up and cheer, didn't clap. I remember there was a guy a black gentleman, he wasn't even looking at Bibi. He was talking to people. He didn't even acknowledge anything when people were cheering and saying, he didn't stand up. He stayed. I think, I would have rather have seen that.
So I've never been like the biggest fan of Netanyahu as a leader, I guess. But personally, I don't have a problem with certain aspects of him. But he has managed to deal with sort of negative or whatever diplomacy with Jordan and Egypt and Turkey for a very long time, right? Like they have like their frenemies. They kind of hate each other. There's some sort of proxy war, whatever elements.
Yeah,
they're still able to do other types of business together. So I think Bibi is just like very used to handling that type of thing. I don't know what might come of it, but I think that is just sort of a reality that he has had to deal with over the past 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, that's good. But again, diplomacy is actually that. Precisely, they're expected to do that. In fact, here it says, the 4 core principles of diplomacy are negotiation, communication, building relationships, and promoting interests. If you cannot do that, if you don't have those skills, you shouldn't be sitting there. And diplomacy is, again, it's like an alternative platform for war. That's the reason why Trump goes and speaks with the North Korean leader, or goes to China, or goes like, yeah, because if you guys don't speak, you're gonna fight, because there will always be conflicts, always. But you try to speak and like manage those conflicts in the best way possible, so that you guys don't blow each other up.
Yeah, but this is like a speech, you know, and they can always listen to the speech later if they really want it. It's not really like a negotiation with them.
I know, Daniel, but again, it's like, it's what they are showing, you know, to their constituents, to the people that are representing. So it's giving a green light. It's giving a green light to the evil people to actually, I don't know, for example, to go and attack Jews, to tell Jews how nasty they are, you know. So this type of behavior, what it does is it encourages bad attitudes from their constituents.
No, they are in the belief that Israel is committing a genocide, and that they are worse than Nazis, and basically Hitler is coming to speak, and if Hitler comes to speak, they would walk out. This is in their mindset, okay? Like they're in that level of like, and I get it. If they actually believe that Hitler would, like, I would also leave the place if I would, for example, be Israel and Hitler would come and speak. But yes, in their mind, this is what is happening.
Yeah, but actually it's not like an of course I would leave if Hitler came to speak. No, it's like, okay, if you could prevent Hitler from doing all the evil that he did, wouldn't you give it a try?
Yes.
Well, this is a form of protest. I guess like when Hitler will come to make a speech in the UN, we're not really having a conversation. He speaks, and I'm the Jew needs to listen and sit. So I would kind of make my protest and show what I think about his speech by stepping outside, because it's not like an equal thing that he will say and then I will speak to him and address what he said. I just need to sit there and observe it.
No, but if by showing not respect to him, but respect to the art of speaking, you could in any way prevent him from doing the shit he did, wouldn't you give it a try?
Yes, but I don't think that while he's making a speech, this is like when he's making a speech, my attempt to stop him is by not giving him, for example, legitimacy and leaving. And I can have a conversation with him later.
He's looking at you and he sees that at least you're a respectful person, and then when you want to speak to him, he will be more engaged with you when you have a conversation in private. I mean, getting off of this stage, you know, when Netanyahu was talking, it sends the message of like, we are aggressive towards you. So how do you think that Netanyahu will react next time he's alone in a room with them? He will remember that we are all human beings. We are driven by emotions. He will remember that situation.
He will not be in a room with them. Those are like delegations of the UN. He's meeting like leaders, and none of the leaders is sitting in the UN.
Yeah, but again, they're representing them. Yes. They're representing that nation. That's my point. Listen, I'm not saying you like him.
Listen, Erdogan, what he said is way worse than his delegation leaving, for example. The leaders are saying way worse things about Netanyahu, like publicly, specifically about him, not just like turning their back on him. Like literally, I think that Erdogan compared him to Hitler.
Yeah, but again, all I'm saying is that if we want adult actions, we need to also create adult behaviors from ourselves.
It's not the place for the UN.
Yeah, well, the UN is a farce, you know, like I don't believe in the UN. The UN has zero power. They're super evil. They actually are pushing the interest. I mean, they're biased. And so they are not a neutral entity. So the UN shouldn't even exist, you know. It's just trying to push.
The UN is a joke, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I know I don't respect the UN, but like what the whole world is seeing is that these guys don't have any type of consideration. And yeah, I'm not saying you should agree with him.
But you assume that the UN or they want to like negotiate or reach peace or whatever. I mean, the UN is all about those condemnations and like strongly worded letters and like meetings and like it's all about these performances. And
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I think this protest is part of the way that the UN works.
Hey Jeff, I just want to say hi, but hold on, I have a video to play.
We cannot go say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion was sent to dominate the world. It was sent to be superior, to extinguish the light of every other religion and to be superior to it. We're not shy to say it, and we don't find that to be something that we should be shy to say. But this religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to eclipse it, to be superior to it, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it. Because the greatest purpose for which jihad was legislated is to make the word of Allah the highest and the word of those who disbelieve the lowest.
Sure, but it looks like it could be like a really old and hopefully really expensive coin. It's George III and Resolution and Adventure. Sailed from England, 1770.
I don't know who said that, but truer words could not have been shared.
Man discovers what appears to be it's one to look at. I'm going to call the Rain Man.
And Adam, you are correct with the numbers. I concede to your point. It's since 2009, over 100,000 Christians were killed in Nigeria. Sorry.
Yeah, it's in the last 10 years, right? It's not in the last few months. Yeah, I was very surprised. Like, that would have been, like, horrible if in the last 200 days or 120 days, they would have killed 100,000, 120,000. And also, apparently, there are some discrepancies because the Catholic Register or something reported like 56,000 at the beginning of this year or last year, and now they have increased it to 120,000. So it seems like there have been, I don't know, some misreporting or something's going on there with the numbers. But yeah, it's still, even if it's just 50,000, it's a shitload of Christians killed, given that there is no war. It's just like pure persecution for your religion. And only Christians. There have been like 20 priests or so that have been kidnapped in the past 10 years. Hello, Jeff.
Hello. Here it says that the Nigerian NGO Inter-Society claims 52,000 Christians killed since 2009, and that was reported in April 2023. And in a newer report from August 2025, it asserts 125,000 Christians killed since 2009. So they have more than doubled the ciphers between the report in 2023 and the report in 2025.
I think never's not a caribou except the poop.
And it's coming from the same source.
If you can't hold a 9 to 5.
Well, it's just math. That means that since roughly October 7th, 2023, they've killed roughly the same amount of Christians in Nigeria as it's claimed Israel's killed in Gaza.
Yeah, but it also claims that since the beginning of this year, so in the past 7 months, the figure is 7,000 something. So it doesn't add up.
Well, I mean, you're not talking about an ongoing war situation. It may very well be that those numbers are irregular, and it may very well be that the numbers aren't accurate. But it shouldn't be lost on people that the numbers being claimed that no one's hearing about is roughly 60,000, 65,000 over the last 2 years.
For sure, it's a lot.
Roughly the same number Hamas is claiming, and the entire world is on fire for, and the UN is delegitimizing itself by attempting to delegitimize the right of Netanyahu to speak for the UN.
And there's no war going in Nigeria.
Right.
So it's just.
I'm pretty sure the president of Nigeria, got his time and no one walked down. I'm saying.
It also says that independent research finds 169,000 violent deaths in Nigeria, all victims, all causes, from 2006 till 2021. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of Christians.
Wondering how many Muslims have been killed by Muslims, if you have that number on top.
Yeah, well, actually, China has been moving. I mean, like, do you know that China categorized Islam as a mental health issue, and they're putting Muslims in retraining camp, which I think it's horrible, but they actually identify them as a problem in their country.
Yeah, because they see Islam as a threat to
to anything.
Anti-Semitic homogeneity or hegemony and national identity. Which it is.
So I'm wondering how effective it's been since.
Yeah, somebody was sending me a meme. Well, a meme, one of these screenshots or whatever that people do with data. And it was talking about, like, 10 years ago, how many cases of rapes or deaths they had in different countries, like Spain and London and some place in the Nordics, whatever, and Poland. And then in 2025, how those figures have increased, multiplied by 5 or 10 or something ridiculous in today. And Poland is like, since they closed their borders to immigration, it's like it stayed the same, or even lowered.
I had a really good conversation with a couple of Muslim dudes yesterday. Really, really cool guys. And they kind of explain from their perspective, it's like a lot of these immigrants are uneducated, just poor criminal type people anywhere in their own countries. And they just kind of got me to understand it's not in the name of Islam, which kind of makes sense. It's like just for losers. All the educated ones who have money, they're able to find a way to do it properly. It makes sense to me. Put things in perspective.
Well, it makes sense to you because you're choosing for it to make sense to you through your Christian or your Western lens. It shouldn't be making sense to you. And the reason why it makes sense to you is because you're not familiar with the actual Islamic ideology. Because when you understand what Islam is about and what it does to the people, it's not really true what they're telling you. And I have spoken also with very nice Muslims and actually ex-Muslims that condemn Islam, condemn Quran. But in order to really understand what they are about, there is no such thing as...
Can I respond?
when I'm done, there is no such thing as extreme Islam and moderate Islam. There's no such thing. It's all the same, and they have to abide by the rules of Quran and abide by the rules of the Prophet, and they're not allowed to contradict them.
Okay, that's a fair statement. However, I'm Israeli. I'm an ex-IDF soldier. I served in the IDF. I'm fully aware of the Islamic, fundamental Islamic mentality, and also I'm fully aware of the issues within Islam. And still, I'm saying that.
Okay, can you tell me what is taqiyya?
Yeah, I know what taqiyya is. And taqiyya is, if you look at what, look, I'm Jewish, by the way. I'm Israeli.
That's okay. I don't care who you are, or where you live, or where you were born. I mean, I'm having a conversation with a person, and where you're from or what you did, it's not going to be relevant to our discussion. So just let me know what is taqiyya.
Okay. So before we go any further with this, is this a test? So you asked me if I knew
No.
what taqiyya was?
We're having a conversation about Islam. We have different opinions. So I'm asking you, because I want to understand how well are you aware of these type of tactics?
So taqiyya, if you are committing taqiyya, for example, if I'm a Muslim guy and I believe in the caliphate, right? And someone asks me if I believe in the caliphate, if he lies, if he commits taqiyya for that reason, it's a sin. If he's under the threat of death, then he can commit taqiyya, and there's a few other reasons when I can do it. So, like, I only learned this through conversations with other people as well, not just Muslims. I'm saying, like, by the way, we're on the same side, man.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to put you on the other side. I'm just saying that you are defending something, or you're defending maybe a Muslim,
not at all.
Which I understand. I mean, like, we don't want to devilify the people that we like. But all I'm saying is that Islam is an ideology that is very incompatible with the values that we aspire to have in the West and what we represent. And they are incompatible. And the only reason why those Muslim friends were able to say that is because they probably are protected by the laws of the land where they are living. Because Sharia law would never defend any other opinion that is contrary to the Quran or to the Prophet. They are only able to be quote unquote moderate because they're living in a place that has them safe.
That's great. I just, no offense, I feel like you're kind of arguing with yourself. You're not, it's all good, man. You guys have a shut off this session.
Yes, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Samsung, you?
This is Tinder.
It's not Tinder, it's Grindr.
Samsung, do you look anything like your photo?
I'll tell you what, let me look. The hair is the same. The face is definitely not the same, and my beard looks, maybe the nose is similar, but the eyebrows, the nose, my photo. My beard looks 10 times better, but his chest is obviously bigger. I think that's safe to say. Isa, I was noticing you were talking about different, let's say, levels of practicing Islam. Is that what you
sorry, what was again?
Like different levels to which extent you can like practice Islam. Is there such a thing as like modern Muslim, extreme Muslim?
I don't know. What do you think?
Definitely there is.
Yeah, in the West.
What, moderate Muslim?
No, even in Muslim countries.
Moderate?
Yes. I mean, I don't know how
What is a moderate Muslim?
You mean like for example the Sufi Muslims? Yeah, they have a different version of Islam. However, they are not recognized as Muslims by the Muslims. They reject Sufis, for example.
No, but that's not what I'm referring to. How can I explain this one? If you look at a country like Bosnia and Herzegovina, Okay, many people are shocked to realize that half the population are Muslim. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was shocked today as well to find Kosovo was one of those.
Kosovo is majority Muslim. Albania.
Yeah, Albania.
Yes.
I didn't know this actually. However, they might be majority Muslim, but the countries are still secular, ruled by secular law.
Exactly. This is what I wanted to address.
Because they are Arabs. They are Arab.
Yeah, and even Turkey tried to develop some constitution like this with secular law, but they do have quote unquote secular law, but it's limited by Sharia, meaning we're going to apply the as best as we can a secular approach, but we're not going to cross these lines that would imply a crime under Sharia, like for example, criticize Muhammad or criticize the Quran. But if you don't cross those fine lines, then everything else will be secular.
Yeah, and not eat pork.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they still, like, Turkey still has, like, these elements, of Sharia, that Sharia is not embedded necessarily in the constitution, but they set the framework, making sure that within the secular law, you're not crossing those uncrossable lines, of Sharia.
No, I hear what you're saying, but looking at all the Muslims I know, and the ones that I knew that no longer exist, no longer with us, I can say that most Muslims I know personally in the West, like, they are somewhat secular.
But because they can be in the West, Samson. That's my point. I'm not devilifying Muslims. I'm devilifying the Islamic ideology.
Can I help?
Speaking of Muslims who are not reformed, I wanted to welcome Amir to the room. Amir, it's been a long time. Welcome to the room. Thank you for joining. Let us know if you want to contribute. Thank you, Amir.
Goes out of his room?
Yeah, so let me help with your point. I think what you're getting at is, among Jews and among Christians, you have legitimate forms of religious practice that are institutionally widespread and considered to be legitimate. You will never find that in Islam. You may have people who are radical and observant, who are good Muslims, and you may have people who are secular, who are bad Muslims, but you will never find the first liberal mosque of Islam in Detroit, Michigan.
No, neither will you find
Michigan.
Even amongst the moderate, you will never find one that calls themselves a Muslim, that it's a true Muslim that will ever criticize the Quran or contradict or challenge anything in the Quran. I'm not even saying insult the Prophet, because if you're a real Christian, you wouldn't either be in a position of insulting Jesus, for example. But you are allowed and actually encouraged to challenge the Bible, to ask questions, to think for yourself. That's not something that happens in Islam.
Isa, I think you're getting stuck in the micro. Another way to put this is, I would challenge anyone who disagrees with you to make a list of their top 10 favorite liberal, innovating imams in the world. It's very hard to compile that list because maybe there's only 4 and 3 of them were murdered last year.
There was one in South Africa that was gay and he was killed.
Well, they don't have space for Quranic. They don't have space for Quranic criticism, and even in academic Islam, there's very little Quranic criticism in the same way that there's been biblical criticism. But to be fair, it also took a long time to develop in Western society. It just so happens that it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think the distinction has to be made, Samson, between liberal and secular Muslims and liberal and secular Islam. The latter does not exist. It is a fantasy of people who have been infected by a Western projection onto their values.
I don't even think it's relevant to bring up the Quran when talking about secular Muslims and modern Muslims. They haven't read the Quran. They're not going to scrutinize it. They're not going to criticize it.
Samson, your claim was about Islam, not about Muslims.
No, I'm going back to something that Lisa was saying earlier.
I think there's a slow movement in the Muslim world, even in the heart of the Muslim world, which is, of course, the House of Saud, Saudi Arabia, a movement towards education. They send their kids to be educated in the West, a move towards increasing rights for women. Their women are taking up more jobs in the corporate world, and a movement towards allowing culture from the West to penetrate or to enlighten their societies. Good examples of this are UAE, of course. I mean, Dubai is like Las Vegas in some ways, but even Saudi Arabia is doing tons of business with the West now and with Israel in particular. And I will note to you that they show particular respect for Orthodox Jews wearing kippah and tzitzis. And I have personal experience of some of this.
A good recent example, currently as we speak, there's a massive comedy festival going on in Saudi Arabia with headliners like Chris Rock, etc. I think 100,000 seat stadium with Western comedians.
Amazing. Yeah, but I think sort of tailoring things to the West is different than like liberal Islam and liberal Muslims, right? Because within the Islamic world of the universe is still a lot more. It's a lot more harsh than we might understand it to be in the West. You know what I mean? Does it make sense? Like, yeah, they allow things from the outside to come in. They allow Westerners to come in and sort of like participate in Western spaces. But in the Islamic side of things, where the natives live, it's a different world.
Well, yeah, there's more mob rule, mob intimidation of your surroundings. So even if a ruling or secularism is coming down from the top, it's the community around you that we need to be concerned about expressing liberalism in the face of that criticism or violence against you.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing a Muslim country like Israel, where we have female rabbis and also having the Supreme Court allow women to participate in the rabbinic world, and also having also recognizing secular marriage. Well, the government will recognize the secular marriage, not the rabbis. So I don't think that there's a Muslim country quite like that yet, or probably will be, even Dubai or.
But that's the religious practice, Sam. I'm talking about the broader society outside of the mosque and the openness to Western evolution of the culture, modernization and change. Women taking increasing roles in government, I forgot to mention before. This is happening. There are female ministers and so forth, women ministers in the government.
Well, we're seeing that even here. We have Ilhan Omar, Rashid Tlaib. Great examples.
Yeah, but Ilhan Omar is
that's sarcastic. That's sarcastic.
Okay, so Bonch, come on stage, dude. I'm tired of typing.
If Ilhan Omar had her way, then America would be Islamistan. So, or Ameristan.
Yeah, I don't consider them progressive. I know they package themselves as such, but their approach to the world, I think, is very authoritarian and regressive, actually. They're illiberal.
So Bonch in the chat, he always tries to challenge me when I talk about Western values, and I say, okay, come to the West. It's like, okay, Guatemala is not even part of the West. So I'm trying for him to understand what this actually means. There is the Western world and there is westernized countries. Westernized countries are countries like Latin America that were conquered and colonized by the West. And yes, they do all have Western values. When we talk about Western values, we're talking about 1, Christianity, 2, Greek philosophy, and 3, Roman law. So those 3 are what we consider Western values. That is what the Western society was based or founded upon. So the West is not compatible with Muslim countries. They don't have their roots in these 3 things that I have just mentioned. And that is what it makes the difference and where the clash comes from. That's why the values are different. That's why the principles of law are different. That's why the reforms that religions have gone through are very different, and Islam has not gone through that. That's why we were influenced by the Enlightenment. And yeah, westernized countries have been countries that have been influenced by the West. And even though they're not recognized as original West, they are recognized as westernized, which means influenced by the West. And yes, they do have those values. So when you bring up Guatemala saying it doesn't hold Western values, that's a very stupid and ignorant comment. I'm not saying Guatemala is an amazing country. Well, it's amazing. I love it. But I'm not saying that Western values should be a synonym of like perfection or non-corruption. No, that we have a lot of corruption, a lot of poverty, a lot of issues in my country. But that doesn't mean that the foundations of these countries are not Western, because they are. Anyway, I just wanted to make that point, but he's too much of a coward to come on stage and actually make a point other than say, oh, the IQ of Guatemalans is 40, is the lowest. Oh, the corruption in Guatemala. Oh, the GDP. I'm not talking about any of that. In fact, your question was about Western values. And that's where my answer is. Now, it seems like your IQ is lower than a Guatemalan, and that's the reason why you're incapable of coming on stage and actually having that conversation.
That would be a good quiz show, you know? Are you smarter than a Guatemalan?
Yeah.
So the real question is he exemplifying modern Western values by being a coward?
What? What did you say?
Is this cowardice personal to him, or is that a modern expression of Western values to be a coward?
Maybe. I don't know.
Jeff, it's difficult to hear you. So you mentioned Roman law being a concept of Western civilization or Western.
I said
values.
Roman law, Greek philosophy, and Christian, I don't know, values or morals or whatever.
Yeah, so I was focusing on the Roman law part. So because right before you mentioned that, actually, I looked up pre-Islamic Arabian law. It's very interesting because every society or tribe, whatever, had their own legal structures. And it says pre-Islamic Arabian law was a customary tribal and unwritten system of unwritten customary laws where tribal leaders enforced oral rules of judgment. The society was deeply patriarchal, with women having little legal status and often being treated as property, while men had the right to practice polygamy without any fixed limits. Law was only enforced through the principle of was often enforced through the principle of vendetta or blood revenge, with harsh penalties like cutting off hands of thieves. I'm curious how much of the Arabic law was infused with Sharia law and how much it continues today. I know that in some countries they still do practice this, where Sharia law is the dominant
Sorry, I didn't understand the first part of your comment. Did you say that Roman law is not, was barbaric? Is that what you're saying?
No. I was saying when you mentioned Roman law, it made me think because I had just looked up pre-Islamic Arabic law, like right before you said that. So then I decided to read what a synopsis of pre-Islamic Arabian law. And I'm curious how much of those principles were infused into modern Sharia law.
Probably a lot. Also because you see a lot of difference, and maybe not huge lot of, actually, where was Islam born? It was born in the Middle East, right?
Yeah.
With the Arabs. And then it expanded to other parts of the world like Asia and whatever. So yeah, it does make sense that these type of principles were adopted, and influenced the Sharia law and Islam, even the creation of Islam. But yeah, for example, when you look into Roman law, those are the principles of private property, of natural rights, of contracts, of, let me look through a list. Even unjust enrichment, good faith, bona fide, that's a concept there. Burden of proof, presumption of innocence, proportionality, equity, abuse of rights limits. All of these are Roman law concepts, that we adopted in our constitutions. Trial by jury. No, this is not Roman, sorry. This is actually more modern. This is like constitutional inventions from the English common law.
Yeah, some of those principles are also found in Jewish law. At least from the perspective of the rabbis, Judaism and Jewish law evolved at the same or similar time, not too far from one another. So it's interesting. But yeah, they seem to share a lot of principles with Roman law. You never know if the rabbis added some of them into it or not.
Yeah, but I think that there was some influence as well. I don't know. Look at this clown. He really thinks he can get me riled up by saying, "Oh, Isa, you're not European. You're not white. You're an immigrant. They will never accept you for who you are. Do you agree?" I hear a lot of projection in these words, actually. Maybe he tries to throw these things thinking that he will annoy me because that is what annoys him. I don't know. Might be.
I'm also going to try to annoy you now and call you a white European.
Who is a white European? Me?
You are. You're clearly entirely Swiss. Your whiteness is blinding.
Actually, that is more offensive to me than what he's saying.
Exactly. Hello? It'd be offensive to me too. And I get called a white European often.
Yeah, if he knew how much I love my country, why would I get offended by being called a Guatemalan? Why would I be offended by not being white? It's just absurd.
The amount of pride you have in your Mountain Max Rising, but that being said, it's something, it's part of your charm we've come to know and love about you. But yeah, it's a pride.
That is just that's something that crossed the mind of someone that is just so socially awkward and resentful towards his roots. And actually, I am 70% Spanish and 30% Guatemalan. And yet, every time I am being asked where I'm from, I always say Guatemala. Because that is my country. That's where I was born. It's the place that I love. But I guess some sand people will never understand that.
Yeah, you're only 70% polluted. Not so bad. You can improve it with the next generation.
I know. That makes me very exotic. And people love that, actually. Look, he's telling me that I have a housekeeping accent. I mean, like, of course, like, he should know how good I am. Like, if he would come to my apartment, it's spotless. And my cooking is amazing.
I've never had a housekeeper that sounded like you, Issa.
So basically, you're a great white material.
I've had great white Russian housekeepers, and they have very different accents.
Yeah. Anyway, poor Bonge. Like, on top of that, he was the one adding me. It's like, if you think I am so low, why do you want to be friends with someone that is not on your level? Don't you think that's
maybe he needs a housekeeper?
Yeah, maybe. I'm too expensive. He wouldn't be able to afford me.
I bet.
Yeah. I mean, if he is able to afford my rate, I would be happy to go and clean his house. I'm sure that I will make a lot of money because, well, I cannot imagine his place to be spotless, you know. He says, Jeff, why can't have Isa as your housekeeper, or you like Russian housekeepers? Yeah, they're cheaper.
Where is Bonge from? His
I think Bonge is like a reincarnation of an account. I think that he might be someone that we know that might be blocked, and that he is coming with another account, or she, or she. Yeah.
No, he spoke. No.
So
I spoke to him. I spoke to him
too. Yeah.
Okay.
It's BONJ, right? Bonge?
I didn't read the chat, but he speaks. Bonge, like, come on stage. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he's confused.
I didn't read the chat, so I don't know what's going on.
I don't think he's got the balls to come on stage.
Well, not now, after he said some things, I understand. But usually, he has no problem speaking.
Well, I don't know why he is afraid. Like, I would not get offended.
You're intimidating.
You are
Am I intimidating?
Yes.
Oh. You're so scary. Really, baby?
To Bonge.
Intelligent women are intimidating to people.
Yeah, that's why but they get okay after they go to Isa's boot camp. Then they realize
Isa's boot camp.
There's nothing to be. They
sign
realize that there's nothing to be afraid of. They just have to be decent people.
Well. Well. There you go. So now Trump is meeting the Emir of Qatar. And then he will meet Bibi.
Oh, nice.
Where? In America?
Yeah.
In the White House.
Oh.
Yeah. Bonge says, Daniel, I'm busy right now. Yeah, he's busy typing.
I'm also busy. I'm working actually right now.
Daniel, is it live You're just saying like, you know, it's just like.
No, the
No,
meeting
it's a
will be,
private meeting.
but afterwards there will be a press conference.
Yeah, just like
Just
they
Trump?
do. They usually kind of like have lunch, then they have their meeting, and then they go to the press.
No, they will go to they will have it in the lunchroom, the press meeting, for some reason.
Oh, maybe for safety.
No, it's considered more, I don't know,
Honor.
more, yes,
No. Respectful.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Whatever's right.
Just more.
Imagine
Yeah,
when they
more.
have the ballroom. There will be a lot of balls there.
Will there be room for the balls?
Yeah.
So let's see if Bibi will come back with a deal or not. What do you say? Will he come back to Israel with the hostages or not?
Pray, pray, pray.
You heard the Houthis attack
If he does,
again, right?
Wait, what did you say about the Houthis?
I heard there was an attack last night.
yeah, there was a
Yes.
Tel Aviv.
And is
Yeah,
it true
like
that they
it.
were planning something on October 7th?
If they plan something for October 7th?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that doesn't pass the smell test for me. I don't think they have the capacity. They're still at war with the legitimate government of Yemen.
Well, so where did they drop yesterday? Where did they attempt to? Israel?
Yeah, at midnight, not 1 o'clock. It's like 2 minutes to midnight.
Central Israel.
Did you hear it, or did the alarm go off last night?
I'm not in Israel, but my husband is and my friend, but they didn't even wake up, to be honest.
Oh, it's become like a like.
No, I don't know why they didn't wake up. They're supposed to at least wake up.
Maybe their bodies are just getting so used to the noise that they sleep through it.
I don't know.
Could it be?
They just kind of slept it off.
Wow.
But yeah, when people know that it's from Yemen, then they don't really get to. They will probably stay in bed.
Oh, because it's not going anywhere.
First of all, because it goes everywhere, and second of all, it's usually intercepted, and it's usually small. How do you call it? Not a lot of explosive on it.
But the drone the other day that was in Eilat was from Yemen, correct?
Yes.
And it killed people.
The drone is different, but but they didn't. To be honest, unfortunately, they didn't with the instructions. You get a lot of time, especially with the drone. Is that victim blaming?
What? Oh my god. I'm fasting today.
Just out of nowhere, is there any particular reason?
I'm trying to get into like this habit of fasting.
Do it on Wednesday.
Of 3 days, yeah.
Do it on Wednesday for 25 hours.
No,
yes.
No, I'm gonna do it for 72.
On Wednesday is Yom Kippur. Everybody's fasting, so you can feel like part of the
Oh,
community.
really?
Yes. But
yeah,
like
well,
eating,
so my
nothing.
goal is to really be able to complete a 5-day fast. It's a water fast, though, not a dry fast like you guys on Yom Kippur. But it's to complete a 5-day fast. Last time I tried, last month, but I only made it 72 hours. So I want to see how far I can get this time. But oh my god, it was amazing. Like I have never done like a water fasting, and last month it was the first time. And on day 2 Oh my God. It's like my brain was on drugs. Like I was just feeling like speedy, you know, and super focused and very efficient, and I could do anything. It was ridiculous. Like my brain was full on, and I felt like I was high.
Yeah, it makes you super alert.
What?
It makes you super alert.
Yeah. When you enter deep ketosis, it's like your brain just goes at 1,000 miles, you know, an hour. It was just like so cool, you know, because I was feeling like high without anything.
So your body is like eating up your fat. So yeah, that's what.
Oh yeah, my brain works much better when it's burning fat and not glucose. It's amazing. I think there are good practices, you know, like fasting, I think it's a good one. Shabbat, I think is a good one. Of course, reading is another good one. Reading a book a week.
Stoning.
Exactly. Stoning women every time they go out of the kitchen.
Is she still talking? She bitch talks on this fucking thing.
Samson, have you watched this series called The Chosen?
Chosen.
The Chosen.
Be chosen. No. Rings a bell though.
It's a series about the life of Jesus.
Ah, yes. I've not watched it though.
Well, you should. It's actually really good. And you know how they always do these movies with portraying Jesus as like, I don't know, super perfect and almost like inhuman, like all like plastic and saint and whatever.
Way too handsome, yeah.
Yeah. This one, oh my God, it's like a very Jewish version of Jesus. You know, it's like very
Jewish version? Wait.
Yeah, it's like a very human version of Jesus. Like he cries, he feels pain, he jokes, he laughs. You know, it's like really really cool. And they actually represent like a lot of like Jewish costumes, you know, because he was a Jew. And I don't know, it's a really cool one.
I mean, he's more Jewish than he's usually portrayed, but to say very Jewish, I think it's an exaggeration.
Well, it's not, because I think that we have never really in any movies seen a Jesus that is as Jew as they represent them in The Chosen. We've never seen anything like that, and I think it makes it very real.
Yeah, I mean, the Jewishness of Jesus has been whitewashed out of Christian theology and film and practice for like, I don't know, 1,600 years. So you're right about that. They portrayed him fully as a Jew. That doesn't mean they portrayed his Jewishness well. So
Bibi just now entered the Trump. They're meeting now.
How long do you think they're gonna be together?
How long does it take a missile to get from Tel Aviv to Qatar?
Let's see. I think how long does he have? He's the president. I don't know. 45 minutes, an hour maximum. They should be like. I don't think they're now opening the entire thing. I think they should have like only specific points that they're discussing. And let's see.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody should watch that series. It's actually really.
And the schedule is that they will have a meeting with 4 eyes, like just the two of them, and then a bigger meeting, and then lunch, and
Who's
then
the two of them with 4 eyes?
just Bibi and Trump, and then a bigger meeting with more people. I don't know exactly who, and then lunch, And then in 2 hours, they will have a press conference. So each one according to their time in 2 hours.
That's a long day.
Candace is already claiming it's a conspiracy that she wasn't allowed in the Four Eyes meeting.
Did you see?
Poor Candace.
Did you see Candace Owens' interview with the Hollywood guy, the sex trafficker or whatever? What's his name?
Epstein.
No, not Epstein. Weinstein. No, not Weinstein. Fuck. What's his name? Hold on.
He did he?
Weinstein.
No.
About Harvey Weinstein, right? The one that.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
It's Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, so she had an interview. I haven't watched the whole interview, but I just watched this clip where she is like, "Oh, Harvey, but how did this happen to you? Like, who do you think is behind all of this?" And she was like, probably trying to do some transference of thoughts, like, "Say it's the Jews, say it's the Jews." And he's like, "No, well, but I cannot make a claim because I'm not sure it was them." And she's like, yeah, but just like say, what do you think? Who was it? Like, what does your hunch say, you know? And he's like, "Well, what I can tell you is that our product was bought by a company called Be-In, which is a Qatari company, and then this other, which is Saudi Arabian." And she's like, you can see her face, like how it went from like very excited because she thought that he was gonna say like, "Yeah, well, some Jewish name or something." And his response was pointing to Qatar and Saudi Arabia. It was super funny. And her face completely changed.
Do you guys notice her conspiracy theories are like fucking so crazy lately? Especially with like Charlie Kirk.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the same as they've been for several years. The Jews did it.
Yeah, dude, but she wasn't like that before. In fact, I did like her a lot when she was like on the black, topic. And she was actually supportive of Israel before. Like, she was like more centered. And it was like when she got fired from the Daily Wire,
she went crazy.
That's when she went nuts.
Yep. Yeah, but that was already 3 years ago. Is the point? We're not disagreeing.
True. So long ago, right?
Yeah, at least.
Well, that's when she went completely bananas. But I never thought. I mean, because she was a good friend with Charlie, and she always kind of like respected him, and I never thought that she was gonna weaponize his death to further her agenda. I think that's disgusting. And like 2 days later, she was saying it was the Jews. It's just so disrespectful.
It's literally an hour and a half later, she released her first video. Like literally 90 minutes.
About what? Oh yeah. After he was shot. Yeah. Yeah, it was even because let's say that what she thinks it's true. Let's say that her I don't know, that she's got evidence or whatever. Even if that were true, just the respect towards her friend, her quote unquote best friend, her quote unquote brother, should be far greater than any narrative that she can get. And so that's where I find it disgusting, what she's doing with his death. I don't know. Like, she completely lost me there. I had still like a 10%, of tolerance, because when she's not talking about Jews, she might actually have some interesting things to say.
Wasn't there an investigation that found out that her money is mostly coming from Qatar and Saudi Arabia?
I don't know about this.
It was him and Tucker Carlson both that were under the same payroll of a lobby group for Qatar.
He doesn't have a book worth its salt.
Yeah, but there are so many sayings about this stuff, you know. Also about Team Pool, like having Russian money. I don't know. It's just like I have not really seen
court. By the way, he took them to court. Even Southern, what was it, Lawrence Southern or something like that. She actually took them to court and won. So that was disinformation, and then. So it was Tim Pool and Lawrence Southern, right?
Hey, girl.
They were both accused that they were actually being bought by Russian oligarchs. They took them to court. It was Canadian. It was a Canadian article that was actually putting that out. So they took them to court and they won. They settled outside. They won. They said that they were going to actually put an apology letter, which they did. So none of that was true.
That was clear then. Yeah. Good.
That was clear. Yeah. Yeah, that was clear.
Well, then if Candace and Tucker also can prove that, they should do it, you know, because that is defamation. But if they don't do it, it's because and especially Candace, like she loves these lawsuits, you know, like she's even getting into like this thing with the president of France, you know. It's like, okay, why don't you sue them? If she believes she's got all the reasoning on her side and she's got evidence, she should go for it. Also, this theory that she's putting forward, you know, that it's like, oh yeah, well, they killed Charlie because he was starting to open his eyes towards Israel and he was changing his mind. That's all bullshit, because she was also supportive of Israel before, and look how far she's gone right now, and she's still alive. Like, if that were the case, I mean, isn't she proof actually that that's not a thing?
No, you have to understand the way the patriarchy works in America. Israel would never kill her. She's a woman and no one listens to her anyway.
Yeah, well.
Here's a question, because I've been reading a lot of these different reports that are coming out from Jewish, like far leftist Jewish groups. But one thing I never understand is how they would actually, like, literally support terror. Like, that's one thing that like, for example, I'm reading this report from Bet Selem, right? Now, I can't for the life of me think that these people are not either doing some form of treason or not. I mean, they're the ones who are actually also perpetuating genocidal talking points. Like, they're even saying that it wasn't Palestinians' fault for October 7th. It was our fault because we were occupying them. I mean, when someone talks like that within your own group, I mean, isn't there like some sort of law against treason or something like that? Like, I just wonder, like they sound like a foreign agent. They literally do. Why aren't you guys dealing with people like that? I mean, there was another report that I read from Haaretz. Okay, now these guys, I mean, I understand you're trying to find anything that you can against the idea as a form of criticism. But then you say on one of the articles that was mentioned that the reason why IDF won't go around raping Palestinians is because they don't think they're even created to begin with. Like, what kind of demonstrable idea?
So damn if they do rape and damn if they don't.
I mean, you can't win.
How do you? No. I mean, it's funny when I talk about this. It sounds like something out of an Onion article, right? But the thing is,
it's like, hey, why wouldn't you rape me? Am I not woman enough for you to rape me? Like, what kind of accusation is that?
But the fucked up thing is that actually comes from a report in the UN Committee on Women and Progress or whatever it's called.
Wow.
They actually put that in an official report that the lack of rapes by IDF soldiers against Palestinian women is proof of how Israelis dehumanize women to the point of not even being willing to rape them as normal soldiers would.
My question is discrimination. How do you have such demonic human beings amongst yourself? I mean, how is this not treason? That's my point. How is this not treason?
Because
I don't know what else to call this.
Phoenix, because part of our the values that we uphold as part of the West, which Israel is considered of, is freedom of speech. And the freedom of speech is having the ability to speak against your government. And that is not treason. Now, if you are saying something that is untrue, the government or whoever has got the ability to go after you for defamation. But freedom of speech is something you have to allow in an absolute way. Otherwise, well, you see what happens.
And see a couple things.
Even for the
Freedom of speech, freedom of press.
you give.
And take a look at who funds what was I looking at? The Tele.
Spend so much time.
It'll be very clear to you that Israel being a Western-style democracy which values freedom of speech and freedom of the press is having the same problem with foreign actors that want to undermine its democracy as America is having. You know, if America can't figure out how to get the billions from Qatar out from underneath the universities and the various groups and the technical systems, if we can't deal with it, like, it's easy to understand how Israel's having the same problem. But there's some perception that because of
Roberto,
some of the people on staff's ethnic Jewishness, they should be loyal to the state.
Conference call.
I think that's probably an unreasonable expectation for everybody.
I agree. Yeah, so that's not treason. Treason is like inciting or rebelling against your country or selling secrets that might put your country in national danger or things like that. Those are treason. Or for example, refuse to serve your country if you're called for it. That could also be treasonous. Or be a mercenary, and yeah, those are treason things. But not speaking against your government, that should never be seen as treason.
Thanks for asking that. I've never actually Googled who funds that Solomon. Now I know.
What did you say?
Supporting the enemy.
I've never actually looked to see the funding of Solomon. It's a who's who of governments and organizations that hate Israel, basically.
There's a new show starting here on Saturday about October 7th. I think it goes to Paramount on 7th of October. Paramount Plus. What?
A show? Like several episodes?
Yes, a show about like a few stories that happened on 7th of October.
There's another thing. Sky News is doing a documentary, and Michael Rappaport is actually doing a documentary that is being released on Sky News on the 8th of October. So go look for it. It's on Sky. It's going to be on Sky News, and show your support on that too.
Loreto.
You just stole my thunder, but fine.
Yeah, you said it so quickly after Daniel that nobody cared about what he said, and
I was pitching a show.
The Red Alert. Yeah, I think I talked about it here before as well. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah,
Red Alert.
He keeps
He's still trying to do it, Daniel. Daniel, if anything, I give the credit.
Where are they going to put the show, Daniel?
Here on TV.
Yeah, but is it on Israel?
Keshet channel, which is channel 12 here, and it's going to be on Paramount Plus in the United States starting 7th of October. It has different names in English and Hebrew, but yeah. But I guess it's in Hebrew, so it will be with subtitles like Fauda.
Fauda season 3. Have they released it with English subtitles yet?
What, Fauda?
Yeah, the third season, because I only saw it was available in Hebrew.
On Netflix, it's always with translation.
And Netflix, is there what?
On Netflix, there's always translation. The Fauda is asking.
I don't do it.
Yeah, how do you write that, and what is it about?
Fauda? You haven't seen Fauda?
You've never watched that?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh wow. Fauda.
You call yourself not really a Zionist?
Well, she's not a Zionist, obviously.
I'm adding to my list, and it says, oh wow, it has different seasons.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
have to watch it.
4 seasons.
Yes.
Yes.
Might not see you for a few weeks if you start watching it.
No, it's really good.
I think
The agent comes out of retirement to hunt for a Palestinian fighter he thought he killed. Setting a chaotic scene. Oh my god, this sounds like so great.
How do you not know this?
I think Isa is not gonna come back to Clubhouse. She will.
No, and wait until you get to season 3.
No, but Dan, this is what I'm asking you. Like last time I checked, season 3 was only
McGrath,
available.
identify the creator of this exit.
No, Netflix. In Netflix, it's in English, in every language.
What country are you watching it in?
What service are you watching? Are you paying for it, or you're trying to watch it like?
Freeloader.
Okay, so
Watch it on Netflix.
well, I don't know how you illegals watch it, but I'm sure that's subtitles in English.
Illegally, the official Israeli website, using Israeli.
It's the Israeli website. You need to get on an American website.
Yeah, on Keshet, where Israeli website has it?
Wait,
I'll tell you.
That you can watch from outside. Interesting.
No, I'm just using Israeli.
VPN.
Yeah.
I just added this to my watch list, and it's suggesting me another story. So, can you tell me if I should watch
Iran.
this? One is the Tehran.
Yeah.
Tehran, sorry. Yeah. Also good.
The other one is Sandcastle.
I don't know that one.
And the other one is The Defeated.
Okay, well, so add this to your list. You ready?
Wait, well, hold on. Let me add just first Tehran. Okay. Now I'm ready.
But Fauda is way better than Tehran.
Do Fauda first, then do When Heroes Fly.
Again?
Well. When Heroes Fly.
When
Con.org, you know that one.
No, but
also,
what
but I heard it was good.
Also, I think Netflix, not Netflix. When Heroes Fly.
Netflix, they might have taken it off. I don't know. You can probably watch it on YouTube.
When Heroes. No, I don't find it on. Yeah, I don't know.
No. Daniel, you know you're off speaker, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, you're on me.
No.
Is that Samson?
It's from Washington, not from the army.
Okay. If it's coming on soon, let me know. I can watch.
No, it's in like almost 2 hours.
Here, I'll play.
Okay, Fauda and Tehran are both. Oh, I also added last week the Poop Cruise. I have to watch that. Do you know what the Poop Cruise is?
No.
So apparently, I'm gonna mute you for a little bit, Daniel.
Okay.
It's very loud. Hold on. So apparently there was a cruise that went in the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America, and there was like an electric failure, and so everything stopped working, including the toilets. And so the sewage started like flooding. People were told that they should poop on bags, and throw them, let them in the hallway so that they would collect them. The thing is that this ship was stranded for like, I don't know, a week or so. And so everything smelled like poop, and everything was flooding those toilets. Nobody could be inside. There was no food. It was horrible. It was a nightmare.
Was that a true story? I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you Google the poop cruise, let me Google that.
Do you remember? I don't know if it was called.
Why not just throw it in the ocean if it was a cruise? I don't get it.
Why not do what?
Throw it in the ocean?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It says
Like all the plumbing was backed up. This is a famous story where they got stalled, and it was just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless if you're into feces.
Ew. It was a horrible thing. So they did a documentary that is on Netflix. They did a documentary on Netflix that's called The Poop Cruise.
Can we just agree it's the Zionists' fault?
Yeah, of course it was the Jews. Who did you think it was?
No,
They took the shit and flooded the
not the
boat.
Jews. It's the Zionists.
It was me. It was all me. I was
We
responsible
love
for that
the
boat.
Jews, not the Zionists.
I am John Kitover.
Wasn't there also a thing on a cruise? I don't know if it was COVID or if it was a virus. Then they wouldn't bring the boat back to shore not that long ago because everybody was infected. A lot of people, too many people were infected on the boat, so they left them out in the ocean for a couple of days.
I am John Kitover.
Surrounded by poop. That's just not healthy.
It happened a lot during COVID.
Well, this was in 2013. It had 4,200 passengers.
No, I'm just responding to Jay.
Oh.
Not about the poop cruise.
I want to talk about Israeli TV for a second. I've watched a lot of Israeli TV and media, and like, there's one show.
I hear the Zionists control it.
No, fuck off. They have really good TV. They've really done really well lately. There's one amazing show called 7 Figures on Netflix. I think it's Shish at the Seam or something in Hebrew.
Cool.
Or something.
Talking before Hebrew. Leave my Hebrews alone, please.
Who is it about?
It's about, I like it because like Fauda and Tehran, they do action Mossad stories really, really well. But this one is like super mundane. It's about like this like sleepy kibbutz and someone wins the lottery. It's like, they're just like normal people without like bringing in the conflict. And it's called Shisha at the Seam. In Hebrew, in English it's called 7 Figures. I don't find it. I put a link to it. When I put 7 Figures, it showed me one film called
7 Figures.
I put it in the chat. It's on Netflix.
It's from Cannes, no? I think it's from Cannes.
Yeah, but it's also on Netflix, and it's really good. It's like really good actors, really, really well done. Like better than like it just kind of has like an indie aesthetic, and I like that it doesn't even really touch on the conflict. Just really mundane people, slice of life type of stuff, but it becomes very messy. And I think it really tells you meet a real Israeli. It was not just about fucking action, Mossad, violence shit. I don't know if it's because you're a woman, but the actual link that you sent is 6 zeros, not 7 zeros. No, there's 7 Figures is the English title. Isa, let me explain to you the difference between English and Hebrew. In Hebrew, it says 6 zeros. That's the Hebrew title. The English title is 7 Figures in Netflix. Okay. Thank you. Maybe you're a woman. It's hard for you to understand that in English and Hebrew, it's a different type of understand. It's part of my condition.
I think we can all agree this would have gotten smoother if both of you were not women.
That's right. This is all emotional because it's between 2 women. Hold on.
It's like a sober version of Amos then. Really listening to.
No, I'm sorry, I will mute it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you lower that a little? It's so weird. It's like so loud.
It's loud a little bit, but it's good.
Can you still hear it? No.
Yeah, we can still hear it loud and clear.
Oh, but it's nice. It feels like being in the Middle East. I'm really someone listening to news. It's good.
7 Figures.
Okay, now can you hear it? No.
No, I cannot comes up with 7 Figures. It's still playing, but the Netflix link I put in the chat with the 7 Figures. It's really good. Excellent show. It should win awards. No, but I don't find this movie. I found it. I shared the Netflix link in the chat. No, you put that empty. The Netflix as well.
There are actually a lot of really good shows out of Israel that have nothing to do with the conflict.
There's a lot of them do though. There's a great one. A lot of thrillers come out of Israel, but this one is just like finally one that's not just about fucking war.
Most shows are not about war.
No, it doesn't work. It might be because of my location, but it doesn't show me. It doesn't open your link.
It's probably because of your location, Issa.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I doubt they know you're from Guatemala.
I'm gonna try it with the VPN.
Oh my God! This entire time I said Father, I meant Tehran, Daniel. The third season.
Can we talk about the title of the room and then how people, how do we think people would be addressing if it was Israel and Mexico? I mean, United States and Mexico. Do you think there would be the same outcry?
No, they will support America 100%. They will,
we would put the ethnic Mexicans in camps in America.
Look at what they're doing with the
Mexican telenovelas.
Look at what they're doing with the Venezuelan boats. I mean.
And no one cares. Huh? Imagine Israel did this. Imagine Israel did this to a boat of Palestinian immigrants. The flotilla is coming when? In how many days? Does anyone know? It's the biggest build-up, the flotilla.
They were saying last night though that the flotilla received a bunch of drone attacks.
Have you guys rolled out the red carpet for her?
I really hope that we will confiscate those boats. I really hope.
Disgusting boats.
But they're gonna find more boats.
Yeah, okay, fine. Let's see who will give them more boats.
But hold on, is this the second time
That's
or
okay.
the
We
third
could have an
time?
armada of confiscated boats.
Is this the second or the third time?
Second, I think.
This is no. Not in this war it's the second, but it's not the second overall.
Right.
No, but I mean Greta herself.
Greta is a second voyage. And I think, I don't know if she was made to sign something, but I think that if she's doing it again and trying to kind of basically invade the country illegally for the second time, well, she might go to jail.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to enter the country illegally for a second time. Yeah.
My favorite part is that the Arab the Muslims on board are going crazy because some of the folks on board are like Arabs who happen to be queer, and they want them thrown overboard and drowned because while their hatred of Israel is big, it's not as much as their contempt for people who may be queer.
Wait, but
I love it when they eat their own.
They cannot go straight to Gaza, right? They have to enter through Israel.
No, they want to go straight to Gaza. No, through the water. Gaza is like border with the water. They are planning to basically go straight to Gaza. They don't want to go to Israel.
As a war region, I mean, like, are they allowed?
No, they're not allowed. Of course not. And they will not be able to do it also. They will be arrested. They will make a big scene out of it. I don't know what they're preparing.
They should let them.
I agree. Yeah. I think they should let them to see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I want to know how many of them
they're going to get looted.
And when they die, and you're told that they died because of an Israeli bombing.
No, because it's their responsibilities. Like, yeah, they saved them once.
Yeah, but what happens when they will say that they died because of an Israeli bombing? Even if it will need to be,
they show up on Hamas's list.
No, even if it's not going to be Israeli bombing, yes, they can still kill them.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, Hamas killed Daniel. You're not hearing me. Hamas kills them. They still show up on the list of Gazans that the IDF murdered. That's provided from Hamas. 100%. Even though they weren't killed by Israel and they're not Gazans.
And being on the right side is not enough anymore.
What would make such a fucking scene in the world? Like, honestly, think about this.
Because it's all about show. It's all about performance in this Palestinian thing. It's all about narrative. It's all about aid. Like, they have like a tiny boat with 31 people, with food for I don't know, 2 weeks of
insecure about it. Who gives a fuck? You know, at best, she'll make some noise. At worst, it'll be a waste of resources. Who cares? She's just stuck in the.
What do you mean? Who cares? They're coming with 31 ships trying to invade the war zone. This is normal.
Is it a real threat? Come on, that's something that.
It's not a threat. It's a threat.
Why are you so insecure?
It's not a threat. What do you mean?
Obsessed with her. You're obsessed with her.
She's coming to us. How am I obsessed with her?
She came to us, we threw her away. She's coming again now with 31 votes. How are we obsessed with her at the end? Are you insane?
You do the same thing.
Are you like Buttercup? What's wrong with you? Like, how much
You guys
do you
love
hate
to
Israel?
mock this little girl.
Is there anything? Tell me something that Israel can do that is okay.
They have very good hip hop and TV and movie and film industry.
The country, as a country.
No, the art. I really
No, they
appreciate the
don't.
art.
Their hip hop is terrible.
That's not true. You
What
don't
can
know
Israel?
hip hop.
What
do you
Israel
listen to?
did?
Not like
What
fucking
did
subliminal.
What did Israel do as a country that is good?
Did you hear Jeff? This anti-Semite hates Israeli hip hop.
What did Israel
Just no
as a
fucking
country
shit about
do that is good? Buttercup, sweetie, honey. What did Israel do
You fucking Jeff.
in the last?
You're insulting Israeli hip hop. You fucking idiot. You
Sweetie.
have no idea. It's brilliant.
Who insulted an
Hip
Israeli
match and
Hip hop
He
should
didn't
be
speak.
hip hop.
Hey, you ignorant slut! I didn't speak.
Hip hop should be
It was
insulted
actually.
regardless because it's terrible music.
Not
So what
Israeli
did
hip hop.
Israel do?
It's different.
Jeff
What did Israel do in the last 2 years that you think that is good?
They made a really good film called. They made a really good series called.
Israel,
Seven
Israel,
Years.
the country, not the people in Israel. Israel, the country.
I think the people in Israel are what I love the most.
I understand. What did Israel do in the last 2 years?
Talented artists. They create immense art out of a dystopian.
Buttercup. Maybe take your Buttercup, sweetie. Take your Ritalin and listen to my question. My question is: name one thing that Israel, the country, as a country, did in the last 2 years that you think is a good thing. One thing.
They've created such a dystopian hell that their artists have produced even better art.
Thank you for proving my point.
Hi, Randy.
You know what, Daniel?
This
It's a
anti-Semite
sickness.
is
Buttercup, it's a
insulting
sickness.
Israeli hip hop.
Buttercup, sweetie, you need help.
You don't
You
even
need
like.
help.
You guys have no appreciation for Israeli
You
art.
need
and music.
help. You need help. Nobody's talking about all this except you. You are such a belly dancer.
Daniel,
Daniel,
please shut up.
you know that usually-
Center me. She said my
Oh my
name
God.
8 times now. No, I'm sorry. She's brought me up 8 times. Let her center me. What do you have to say to me, Buttercup?
Jeff, you don't like Israeli hip hop? What an anti-Semite!
I didn't say that.
You don't know it. Let me tell you. Who's your favorite Israeli musician? Tell me.
Adel Tavari?
Okay, and who do you know any like modern
No,
pop?
just shut up.
Do you know Noga Erez? Do you know fucking?
Okay, so
I said
Daniel,
nothing.
do you know that these questions you just asked Buttercup about naming one good thing that Israel does? My friends who hate Israel actually ask me exactly the same thing, but the other way. It's like, can you name one thing that the Israelis do wrong?
Yes.
It's a stupid question. This is like a fucking what's with the pop quiz. We can appreciate the good and criticize the bad.
No, but you don't find any good. That's a problem. You don't
With
find any good.
Netanyahu's government in particular, no, but there are good people in the government. I like Yair Golan, Daniel, but Yair Golan is like a stand-up guy, I think.
He's not in the. I'm asking as a country if there's anything that we did, the government, the IDF, like something that is government, that is country. You know, we have many bodies in the country, not just the prime minister.
The IDF. I praise the IDF for standing up to the Netanyahu government multiple times when they tried to go against Israel's interest and
You're sick.
advising
Woman,
against.
you really need
I'm
help.
praising Zamir.
I think you're obsessed. I think you're obsessed.
The IDF.
No, I think you're
praise the heroes.
Sweetie.
You comment at the Semites for
sweetie.
praising the heroes of the IDF that stand up to Netanyahu. Fuck you.
I think
You should set up your army. Be patriotic, Daniel.
that escalated quickly.
Be patriotic, Daniel. Stand up for your fucking IDF, your soldiers, your fucking warriors who are trying to take a patriotic stand.
Don't you dare to speak on their behalf, you Jew hater, anti-Zionist, anti-Israel,
I love the IDF.
manipulator.
They stand up to your crooked governor, you fucking BB loyalist.
Yeah.
Actually,
I still want to know how I got this conversation.
That is actually one thing.
Which I didn't do. I'm still confused about that, Jeff.
Daniel protested the BB government, and he says he's fucking sycophantic. Like,
Hey, BB, you think it's because she finds me attractive? I'm guessing that's what it's about.
She heard me reject her assertion that Israeli hip hop was one of the good things that Israel produced. I said, no, it
Daniel's
isn't.
a
Israel
hypocrite.
hip hop
Daniel
is garbage.
protested the Netanyahu government, and now he's out like.
You're brainless. You're brainless. You're immoral. You're
disingenuous,
You know,
and you're ignorant.
Can I try to move the conversation a little bit? Because
Say one thing in Hebrew, Jeff. Let me hear some Hebrew. Come on, Jeff. Say something in Hebrew.
Conversation to where it
I
belongs.
want an apology for why this woman came for me and inserted words I didn't say. I wasn't even speaking.
It was
I wasn't even part of this conversation.
It was exciting, and he totally admitted it. And she's still an acting job. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's okay. So over the weekend, I listened to this interview with a guy called Naftali Bennett, and I wanted to ask you guys. Oh my
Ex-Prime
God.
Minister of Israel, not just a guy.
So I wanted to ask you guys, what are your thoughts? Because I kind of liked him.
Yeah, he's kind
Yes,
of
he came from his background is very I would say marginal, but he has evolved since he became prime minister to be more of a uniting kind of character, and he has a lot of credit by the people. I think even people that despite the fact that he's go ahead.
Say that he was a big deal in Likud. He was going to be.
What is
he was going to be like a big. Bibi's party, Netanyahu's party. He was a big deal in Likud for a while. He left the party. He was the only prime minister in the last 5 elections that was not Bibi. He was only prime minister for about 18 months, but he was very effective.
No, he was less because it was with
Bennett's
Lapid.
coming back.
Right, it was Lapid. It was like It was like a year.
Do you think that Bennett is coming back?
Yeah, everybody.
Yes.
So.
Yes, Bennett is coming back.
One of the
At
things
this
that-
election?
Yeah, he definitely is.
One of the things this guy made me
Oh,
realize when I listened to this interview, and actually I liked it a lot, is that he kind of like showed me, even if he is against Netanyahu, I mean, against, like, he doesn't agree with Netanyahu, he actually makes it sound like, yeah, we Israelis stand behind the principles and what we actually want for the country, but we have like this system where we disagree, you know. And I really liked it that he didn't badmouth his government, and he didn't badmouth even Netanyahu, you know. Like he wasn't speaking against the IDF, he wasn't speaking against like his country. He was actually, I did love the way that he spoke, and I felt like
So you mean he's doing the opposite of Buttercup?
It made it look like Israel really has a very
I heard Bennett's a better
oh my God.
Buttercup.
It really made it look like Israel had a very mature platform for disagreement and a very political platform, you know, a very mature political platform. I really like the vibe.
Listen, we can.
The same vibe I get, even if you don't like him, is the same vibe I get from Netanyahu. You know, it's like people that truly love their country, and that to me was like really awesome.
Listen, we can have disagreement about what is true for Israel and what is the right path, and you know, at the end is a lot of compromises between sometimes competing values, and those are like the different parties, and this is also like the internal view of those different points of view and different like reasons and different objectives. People like, for example, Buttercup are anti-Zionist. They are basically anti the concept of Israel. So basically, they are in the position of everything that Israel is doing is bad. There's nothing that they do is good. Basically, whenever something, they will always align to the worst thing to kind of try and show why they're bad. And their objective, and this is why she's also conflicting me as a Netanyahu supporter, because I'm not. I'm a defender of, she cannot differentiate. She would put Netanyahu and Israel as the same, and this is why she cannot say anything about Israel, because she sees Israel equals Netanyahu.
No, I don't. I just complimented
when
the
I'm
people
defending,
as opposed to the
when
government.
I'm defending
You conflict
Israel,
the people in the
I'm
government.
defending Israel. I can still have a lot of criticism for
I
Netanyahu,
literally
which I
praise
do.
the art of
It's
Israel.
not about
Israeli
having
people.
how do you call it
I literally praise the
hypocrisy.
people.
It's actually talking about nuances. For her, it's basically, I don't remember once we had a conversation and she said, we asked something, why is it bad? And then her answer is because Bibi is corrupt. Basically, because he's doing something while she thinks he's corrupt, then that thing is automatically a bad thing.
Put words in my mouth.
And this is like the differences. There is no nuance.
You put words in my mouth, you dumb cunt.
That is exactly
Ooh, Jeff. Take it easy, Jeff.
Fucking moderator.
You also said you were dumb. Do you realize how dumb you were yet?
Okay, let's just not insult each other.
So
you started a fight with me based on something Big Zed said. You haven't fucking.
Do you kiss your mother with that mouth, Jeff?
I certainly do, you dumb cunt.
No, Jeff,
Okay,
let's
so
keep it sober.
Daniel.
There's no reason, to do personal attacks. Just keep
Yeah, she's a dumb cunt. It's fine.
Daniel,
There's no
like you were
reason to go
saying-
this low. Like, you can easily just have a
Yeah,
disagreement,
dude, like, why?
It's easy to keep on fixing the same things. It's not-
Daniel, what you were saying.
I was sitting here being quiet and she came for me.
Well, she told me fuck you before, and I moved on, so she can also
Anyway,
move
so
on with
Daniel,
the
what you were saying about this, I think I agree with you, and my feeling when listening to this guy, which is my first time listening to him, it's like
To who?
very to
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yeah. So it was like
Good name.
I felt that you guys as a country, let's say that there are two levels, the macro level and the micro level, right? At the macro level, it's like all of you agree on what Israel represents and the values, et cetera, like the principles are at the macro level, and there is very little disagreement there. Now, the disagreement comes at the micro level, at the nuances, right? On like the execution level, and more about how to do things or what the approach should be. Because this guy, Bennett, he doesn't disagree about doing what Netanyahu is doing, he just disagrees with the approach. He would have done it quicker, right? And not allowed to.
First of all, it's not just about the words. It's more about and it's also not necessarily about the ideology, because it's what is needed right now. And right now, we need something, for example, that will unify us more than will separate us, for example. And we need still someone that is strong and will kind of different. So it's like it's whatever is needed at the same time for Israel, not necessarily the same prime fit at any moment in time. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, just like in a company, you have the founder, but then when you're growing,
Exactly. Yes, and now you wanna move it from stage to
you do
D.
different type of profiles for different seasons. Yeah.
So now we need something, I guess, like Bennett. At the end, with 6 mandats, 6 seats, he was able to become prime minister by creating basically the opposition to Netanyahu, by unifying other. At the end, this is how you create a government in Israel. You need to form a government based on few parties that will have the majority of the parliament, and then you appoint the prime minister. This is how they could do this. But at the end, it didn't really last. It lasted a year and a half. That's not good enough. So we will. So now all the opposition parties need to decide if they unite, if they stay separated, who is uniting with who, and who will be the first, and they need to decide.
How much do they pay you to get off the streets protesting to lick Netanyahu's boots? How much do they have to pay you to be a propagandist on this app?
Who?
Full circle. You came. How did you get?
Probably on OnlyFans.
What is it cost?
Why are you listen? Let's be honest. I have full incentive because this is my country. Who's paying you?
Who would pay me? I'm just.
Good question.
I'm just like heartbroken to see my
No, you
culture
come here.
tarnished.
Listen, my country is under attack. Okay, so I'm here to advocate for my country. Why are you here? Why don't you just shut up?
I'm here to save my fucking culture from your.
What is your fucking culture?
I noticed
what
you
is your
couldn't say
fucking culture?
there, Buttercup.
What is your fucking culture?
I'm an American Jew.
So what is it? It has nothing to do with you because you're not an Israeli Jew. So go defend
By
your
an
culture.
accident of fate, I ended up
Want to
here and
save
not
your
there.
culture, go light
They
some
all
shops.
almost ended up in Palestine and ended up in New York instead.
They love you over there. Go.
I got an idea. Hey, Buttercup, go back to Poland.
I really don't get it. Like, what are you like? Why are you here? Who's paying you? What's your objective?
I haven't done a complete 180 in the last year on my political views. It's bizarre, Daniel. You went from protesting on the streets to Bibi is God. What happened?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He used to protest the Israeli government. The Supreme Court.
What are we protesting the government about? What were the protests about? Do you know? Because we're not idiots like you. Because for you it's black and white, right? You're protesting the government. Everything the government is doing is bad. So you cannot agree with the government. If you agree with the government and you're already protesting the government, it means that you are lying and you change your mind. It's really literally like listen. I don't know what school you went through, and I don't know what kind of education you have, but your
understanding is so basic of things. It's like it's black and white. It's right or wrong. It's like it's so binary. What about some fucking nuances? Like,
what do you mean? I have nuance. You just are everything he does is fucking like God's word.
So tell me, what was the protest about, and how it has anything to do with the war?
About the reform of the Supreme Court and dismantling democracy.
And what are we talking about? Are we talking about the reform in the judicial system? Or are we talking about the war?
Today, Netanyahu's government continues to dismantle democracy, and you don't give a fuck.
And did we speak about this?
Yes.
Did we not? We spoke about something else.
We spoke about David Zini. We spoke about appointing David Zini in charge of the highest, one of the most powerful bodies that should be independent, that's actually investigating the prime minister. And you're for it. You're fucking for it. You're on the street protesting.
We never spoke about it. This is why you're so.
We talked about David Zini. I brought you in to provide an Israeli perspective, and you told me you support this fucking shit.
How dare you?
I did not say it, but never mind.
You said you want to give him a chance. There's checks and balances.
No, what exactly did I say? Because you have been a known manipulator.
You said you do the right thing.
Let's see if you can echo what I told you.
You felt that he had never said anything to imply that he retained those extremist messianic views that he was raised with, even though even Netanyahu deemed him too messianic to run the IDF last year, to take over the IDF, right? Netanyahu, by his own judgment, said he's too messianic.
This is what I said, or this is what you're saying, because this is your problem.
This is more widely reported in Israel that
you're quite a character, quite a character.
No, we talked about this, Danielle. Don't pretend we didn't have this conversation.
You talk, and you don't listen. And
I
you,
did.
even
I heard you said there's no evidence that he actually retains his views.
Even when you do listen, you have to bother me, and the next day you will say exactly the same thing.
I can say anything about you, Danielle.